How you doing? It's the Butcher here, and today I have my final video before the actual launch of Season 3, and this is going to be a leveling guide for the Rogue class. And so what this is I have two other build guides that I've already come up with. I've already kind of tested and theory crafted, one being a poison range rogue and one being a cold. So I recommend you go check those out. They're both on my channel. This is going to be a leveling guide to help you blast through the seasonal quest line and blast through up to, I recommend switching around level 40. That's just me. You can run it all the way up to level 50 if you want, but I would say somewhere between low 40s. I would switch over for sure. So anyway, I got my character up to level 16, and that is because I am able to get some shadow imbue and some other stuff that I wanted to use and show off for the build, and that is the minimum you need if you don't have the renown points already. If you do, you have the extra 8 points, so you'll be able to get to it quicker, but I wanted to show it for all people basically, what they'll be able to do. So where did I actually spend these points? I have in D4 builds a full leveling path built out, as you can see here. So how do we get to this point? So I have this up to level 44, by the way. Thought that was about a good time to kind of stop it so people know to switch over. So we take puncture into enhance, and then we come down and take penetrating shot. As you can see right here, it's telling you exactly what order to go. We then take fundamental puncture, 2 more, or we take enhance and then improving. I actually don't have these because these are not going to be live to the new update that changes these that make them significantly better, specifically this one. And then after that, we're going to take dash and shadow step for mobility, make us run through content faster, because our character is actually not going to be that fast by itself, but this will help us kind of fly through it. Then we're going to go back up, we're going to max out, we're going to take 2 more to penetrating shot, and then we're going to grab rapid fire just so we can hone down on some single targets when we need to. Then we're going to grab the rest of penetrating shot, we're going to grab enhance and then advance rapid fire. Then we're going to grab exploit down here so that we are able to hop into the imbuements. So we're going to take shadow, and then we're going to take that into blended, and then we're going to use the rest of our points. So if you were like me, you are going to be able to max out shadow imbuement. If not, if you don't have the renown points, you're not going to be able to max out shadow imbuement, but you will still have it at this point. So that's how we got there. I have the rest of the guide on what I would do, what I would take. And then if we pop over here real quick, so first thing, you really only need one aspect for this, and that is the trick shot aspect. It's in the codex. The second one over here is the ravenous aspect. This is just a nice to have. You do have to have a rare ring to equip this one. This you can either equip it on your ring or any of your weapons, whatever you get a rare one of first. So for me right now, for this character, I wasn't able to get a rare ring to drop, so unfortunately I don't have the ravenous aspect on, but I do have the trick shot aspect. It's on one of my daggers. So that's that. That's really the only one you need. This one's more just a nice to have to help keep your energy regen up and blast your stuff faster. Then for specializations, I actually haven't done it yet on this character. It's unlocked to level 15. I believe it goes combo points you can get at level 15. I think you need to get to level 20 to get inner sight, but that is what I recommend using in the beginning, just because you won't have the energy cost reduction, things like that, and it'll help you keep that up. And then as far as other things you can take, anything with attack speed. So there's the one for basic attack speed. There is the one where you damage an enemy with the core skill. You can get 25%, up to 25% increased attack speed, but I believe that's not a codex power, unfortunately. And then things you're looking for, try to grab an amulet that has energy cost reduction as early on as you can, and you can throw something on that and just hang on to it. And then your boots, you're just looking for boots, whatever has the highest movement speed, just keep taking that. And movement speed would be nice in the amulet too, but it might be asking for too much early game. Besides that, I'm just constantly switching out stuff. You can start throwing like disobedience on any of your defensive gear here to keep your armor up, things like that. But really early portion of this game, you just want to be blasting through it as fast as possible. And then for your constructs, we don't know when you actually get these. So I chose there's rare and legendary runs, at least what we have here. And I'm not sure when you get them. So I chose all rare ones because it figures to be the earlier ones you get. And I took ones that I just thought would make sense. So like Gyrate, something that's going to do a bunch of damage to a bunch of targets, then getting more resource, getting more crit strike chance, and the lightning bolt, having hit more enemies, and a little bit of DR. So this is, it all depends on what you get first through the quest line. But that's what I'm rocking with. So like I said, that will be in the description. It has the full leveling guide and basically when to take points where. And like I said, you can obviously add more aspects and things like that, but I just kind of like to blast through it and then wait until basically going into the capstone to get my gear sorted a little bit, and then even more once I get to world. I'm just trying to get to world tier 4 as fast as possible, basically, is my entire goal. So this definitely does it. I've been using something similar for a while now. It's usually been with twisting blades. This one is with penetrating shot and rapid fire, but it works very well, as you see here. And I should mention too, so I like to level in World Tier 1 personally. You can go to World Tier 2. The monsters will be a little more difficult. You get 20% more XP and you get 20%, I think, increased rarity of items. For me, that's not, I think you level quicker in World Tier 1, at least from my experience. So that's why I'm in that. And I think it helps you get through like the seasonal quest lines and everything faster. Up to you though, if you can just blast through World Tier 2 just as fast, all the more power to you. But I like to level in World Tier 1. So you'll basically be able to see what the good thing about penetrating shot and what's it called here, and the trick shot aspect and the shadow imbuement is we're able to just basically spread the shadow imbuement all over the place. And we can even do things like you dash into it, and then once you kill enemies, it creates this big explosion, and it'll just help you just clear out mobs pretty quick. We're able to do a lot of vulnerability damage. I don't even think we have a rare bow. We actually definitely don't have a rare bow at the moment. But you can see here, yeah, our energy regen isn't the best, which is, like I mentioned, one thing. But look at that pop from the shadow imbue, just blasting a bunch of different things. And when you don't have it, you can kind of just back up. You can dash through stuff. It doesn't really matter. You're pretty invincible early on. If you're playing World Tier 1, if you're playing World Tier 2, you got to be a little bit more careful. But in World Tier 1, you can pretty easily make your way through here. Dopamine Tunnel is one of the best leveling spots, has been for basically the entirety of the game. But yeah, you can see. And then what you can do too is I can try to do on this guy here if I have enough energy. You can use your your rapid fire to actually hone down on a single enemy and get that pop, which is really good. So if you have an enemy, he's weak, you hit him with some rapid fires, it should be enough to get him to get the shadow pop, and then basically blast it onto all these other enemies. And you can see once we get the pop going off with these different guys, it does a lot of AoE damage. We just move around, we wait for it to come back up, we get it back up, and then we do it again. And you can see it's very good for leveling. Go through here, get it back up, and then you can kind of position yourself, try to hit as many enemies as possible if you can. I'm not playing this the best, you can even play it way better. But you can see the speed that obviously we're able to do this with. And to get to this point, it'll probably only take you about, I don't know, 40 minutes or so. If you're doing it fast, it depends maybe if you want to do more of the seasonal quest line, that might take a little bit longer with all the dialogue and random crap you usually got to do. But like right here, if I want to like focus down on this guy, get him the pop, you can use the rapid fire. And then we're facing single targets, whether it's just elites in dungeons or bosses in dungeons or the bosses in the seasonal quest line. We're able to just use rapid fire and basically do the same thing. And we can go through this thing pretty fast. I mean, nothing's ever going to beat like a Blood Lance or whatever it's called, Necro. But as far as AoE damage, if you're looking to play a rogue, nice. This is about as good as it gets. Let's pop this on. Probably much better. But yeah, we come through. I have the whole thing built out up until level 44, like I said, or 43. So you can use this. You can level up. And we basically just took out the whole dungeon. You know, we'd be looking for more speed potentially as far as finding gear. But for now, this will carry you up until the point you need it to. And then once you're entering the kind of capstone to get to World Tier 3, that's when I recommend switching over to most likely, I mean, I'm probably going to play Poison Imbue first. But either that or I have another build with Cold Imbue that is focused on crit. That might be a little harder to scale at first, but either way, recommend switching over to one of those. But that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I have the entire leveling path built out, and that'll be in the description. So make sure to check that out, and make sure to check out my other two videos as well too, with very similar. They're both penetrating shot, rapid fire builds. Like I said, one that involves poison imbuement and actually is utilizing the victimized key passive, which I don't really think many people have done whatsoever. And then another build that is using cold imbuement and what's going to be the new precision key passive down here. So two I think are going to be really strong builds. I think the Poison and Bee one's probably going to be a little bit better, but they should both be pretty strong and a bit different. So I hope you guys like them. It's been the Butcher, and I'll see you guys for Season 3. I will be live streaming when it comes out, so I hope to see you guys there. Peace.